Hello, I'm Davina, and hello to all of you bold, beautiful, and brilliant, highly evolved souls. Today, I just want to do a short video. Hopefully, my voice will hold up. Um, yeah, I've just been making the connection really like more at a deeper level of the the abusive behaviors of my parents and the impact that that has had on me, and making this connection more kind of more solid or something more. Um, of course, you probably notice that there's always these little shifts going on, and sometimes we know something, but then we know at a deeper level and a deeper level and a deeper level as the denial peels away. And I think the denial and the self-blame can be so strong and so insidious that we may not even always notice that it's there because it's such a part of us, or at least it's such a part has been such a part of me. And so what I've been realizing, I've been in a lot of misery lately, which, yeah, just, I think just realizing, especially when I'm at work, how much my mind is like, driven by the feelings of guilt and shame and terror and rage, and how much mental suffering and how much also emotional pain that I'm constantly in. So I think I don't know if I'm in more pain than I used to be, or whether I'm just really becoming more aware of just how miserable it is to go through a day when like all of my thoughts are trauma based, when all of my feelings are I don't want to say negative because I don't like that word, but like all my feelings are the painful ones and the difficult ones and the excruciating ones. And so I started thinking like I would notice like I'm sitting there caring for a child, and suddenly I'm thinking about the mother and what should I do and how should I please her, and will this disappoint her? Will she be displeased if I do this? Should I do that? And um so there's all this mental energy. And there's always obviously the feeling of the shame and the guilt. Um, you know, even just taking a short break at work, I start feeling so guilty. I'm scared that they're going to walk in and see me laying on the floor meditating. I feel so much terror. Um, I've gone through this so many times with each family, but like a terror of abandonment, terror of abandonment, terror of abandonment. What will they think of me if blah blah blah, if I do this or I don't do this, or if I'm like this, or um I realize how shameful I feel, like pretty much all the time. Just I feel despicable and worthless. But of course there are moments where, the shame lifts a bit. But as I was saying, it's just connecting these two. And I started saying just today, I was like, Mona, that's my mother's name, my mother, if you can call her mother, abuser's name. You did this to me, Mona. And I don't think I'd ever said that before. You did this to me. You're the reason why I feel miserable today. You're the reason that I feel guilty at work for doing the smallest of things to take care of my needs. I feel guilty when I go to the bathroom, you know. Um, anything that's turning away, if I'm, not putting my full attention on the child all day, every second of the day, I feel guilty. And I always feel guilty too towards the parents or the employers for some reason, or and feel this just deep shame. So like, you did this to me, Mona. You're the reason why I feel despicable. I feel despicable because you shamed me, you scolded me, you invalidated me many times, time and time again. And the other phrase I used was, it's because of you, Mona. It's because of you, Mona, that I'm a people pleaser and a codependent who puts their needs aside to please others. It's because of you. And I imagine I was like really talking to my mother and saying like, F you, F you. Because I think so much in the last few years has been like, I'm in the flashback, but I'm not really fully believing that I'm in a flashback somehow still, or up until now. There's this part of me that's saying, no, I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't feel terrified. Why do I feel terrified? Why can't I control this flashback? Why can't I manage this? Why can't I just come out of it? I must be doing something wrong. So there's still this self-blame that I, can't manage or control the flashback and make it go away. Um, and so I think this is just that little sliver or whatever piece that was still like in denial and the self-blame that somehow it was me, like I was my fault that I was in a flashback, or my fault that I was feeling terror. Um, or another phrase you can use is it's your fault, because we blame ourselves, and this is how we survived, but um it's your fault, Mona. It's your fault. It's your fault that I feel, blah, blah, blah. It's your fault that I'm like this. It's your fault that I'm in this flashback right now. And I use my mother's name because she was my primary caregiver, but my dad, my father, quote unquote, abuser, bully, father, also played a big role in just huge neglect. Like he was a completely uninvolved father. So, and when he was involved, half of it was probably abusive. So, just really pointing it out, and yeah, I know I've mentioned a lot of times about blaming your parents, and just keep doing it, because we need to switch that self-blame and the shame to them, and to put the blame and the accountability where it belongs, even though most of us will never see any amends. Most of us will never have any compensation for the mental and emotional damage they did to us, for the mental and emotional hell that they put us through, that we are now re-experiencing today, while our present life is, hardly kind of there sometimes. So yeah, it's connecting those abusive behaviors and the impact that it had on you, and saying it out loud or writing them down. Um, I'm like this because my mother did this, or my father said this to me all the time, and that's why I think like this today. Um, and yeah, it's what else was I gonna say? I just like, yeah, oh, it's this journey is so freaking painful. I've said it a million times and I'll say it again, but um I have the word allow written down, because that's really I think the gist of it all is just trying to allow all of these feelings to just come to the surface, and to feel them, observe your thoughts, um and um and just sitting through it, allow and endure, it's yeah. So yeah, and I am, one phrase I never heard until now, like just, I don't know, a few weeks ago, um, someone said to me, I'm really sorry for what happened to you. And I had never heard anyone say that to me, even after I told them I'd been abused by my parents, because there's so much denial in this world. Even therapists that I went to 3, 4, 5 therapists, and nobody said, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm really sorry that your parents were so abusive to you. No one ever said that to me. So be aware that it's a world of denial out there, even therapists. um, so, um, yeah, I am truly sorry, truly from my heart, sorry for what happened to you. And I really wish you healing and peace, and maybe even one day some joy and some hope. And I am Davina, always wishing you many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And You can sometimes find me at Boldness Blooming, but I'm not really at Boldness Blooming, but it is my business, so-called business name. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Thank you to all the new viewers. And please take care.